Hi, this is Cindy Cassini with Real Estate with Cindy, and today we're going to talk about working with buyers. Now, I want you to be a great agent after watching these videos. There's so many bad agents out there, and so many that are uninformed and uneducated. I want you to be better. I want you to be a great agent because it's really needed in our industry. This is not a part-time job. This is not just because we love looking at houses. We're helping families find the perfect home or a second home or a vacation home or an investment property. Whatever it is, that's our job, is to help find them the perfect property. Now there's so many Zillows and Redfins, whatever out there, but you still need to interview your people and talk to them about what they're looking for. So hopefully after your open house, one of those buyers says, you know what? We need to find a home and we love you and we want to work with you. And that's like, yay. So don't just be the keeper of the keys and go, what do you want to see? I'll show you. No, you are the expert. You want to have information. You want to know where they're going, and you want to do some deep diving into the houses. Look at each one. You go to open houses, whatever it takes, but don't be just the keeper of the keys for these people. Show your expertise, because you want to talk to them about, what really fits your needs. Sometimes people think that they want, I want 4 bedrooms for my grandkids to come once a year. Well, do you want to pay all year for that one time? So maybe we find something that's got some convertible space, like a Florida room. We could put some air mattresses up or bring in mattresses or whatever. Find what works best for them. Try to find out, what does your dream home look like? And let's see if we can find you that or something close to it. Talk to them about, whether or not they want a fixer-upper, or do they want to, like a project, or they want something with a few projects, but not too much, or they've done that, been there, don't want to do it again, which, if you've ever done a big renovation, you know how they feel about that. We did our kitchen, and I don't think I ever want to do a kitchen again. But, maybe they are younger, and this is a first-time home buy for them. Especially with the first-time home buyers, and even the others, but especially the first-time home buyers, you kind of ask them politely, okay, if we find the perfect home, how are you planning on paying for it? And it's not like, can you afford it? It's, how are you planning on paying for it? Is it going to be a cash, or will you need a loan? We've got cash, but we really are going to have to get a loan, I think, because we don't want to spend all our cash, because we want a project and we want to be able to renovate. Great. Let's talk to a lender about that, so he can give you options about payments, so you make sure that the payment fits within what you want to pay per month. Because when we find the perfect home, we want to be able to write an offer. We have to put a lender's letter with it and show them that you're able to purchase this home as part of the presentation package for the offer. So here's my recommended lenders that I have. Be sure and call them and talk to them. It's a quick phone conversation over about, where you work, what you do, what your assets are, if you have debts, and he'll run a credit check and that kind of thing. But if you have time, it'd be great to get pre-approved with the lender, which means you submit tax returns for the last 2 years, you submit W-2s, 1099s. That way he really knows the data is there. Because when you get a letter, the letter either will be a pre-qualification letter, which means they've talked to the buyer over the phone and feel comfortable with them, but they don't know if they forgot the bankruptcy from 10 years ago or whatever. So that's a pre-qualification letter. A pre-approval letter means the lender has kind of gone down that road and done some checking and everything is correct, and that will give you your buying power. Because just because they can afford $800 a month doesn't mean they want to spend $800 a month. So find out, a good price range. So have a good relationship with the lenders. You don't need to know their what's in their underwear drawer. You just want to know, yes, they need to stay under $800 a month, which looks like it'll be about a $400,000, $500,000 range. That's great. Don't get over their range. It gets them excited about something they can't afford, or push them into later on going, oh, we shouldn't have put a contract on that house. That's just too much. Keep them in their comfort zone. Get them down lower, so they go, you know what, they really are looking to help me save money on this house. So, be sure and have a good a couple of good lenders that they can talk to, and they're nice to people, especially first-time home buyers. It is a hard decision, and it's a hard process because they don't understand why they need to know all this information, and sometimes they'll ask for the same thing 3 times. I just gave them that. Well, they need you to upload it over here too, not just over here. It's just, as my mom always said, it's their money, their game, so we have to play it with them and let them know what's going on out there. You can't hide anything from a lender, believe me. They'll find it. If you don't tell them, they'll find it. And tell especially your first-time home buyers, don't open a credit card. Don't go buy new furniture for your precious new home. Don't go buy a new car. We had a guy buying a multi-million-dollar property, and right before closing, the lender called me and said, "Did you know that the Mr. Smith bought a new yacht?" I'm like, "No." I said, "Does that make a difference?" He goes, "No, it don't make a difference, but I just want to let you know. So don't go buy a yacht." I've had people open credit cards or buy furniture. Don't do that. Please don't do any of that. Just tell them to hold tight to their money, save it for when after they close, and then they can spend the money and decorate their new home. When you're showing them homes, and of course they've been on Zillow, and they found these 3 homes that are just perfect. It's $100,000 more than what we want to spend, but maybe we can offer them lower and they'll take it. Well, they are taking lower right now, but you don't want to insult them. If you make the seller mad, the seller can sell to whoever they want to, and they don't feel like you are being honorable, they won't sell it to you. They'll hold their line, and they won't. I've had sellers say, don't even bring me anything from them. I do, because I have to show them every offer, but you've made them mad for some unknown reason. That makes them mad. So, just keep the price point within their feasible range. And if they give you 3 houses to go look at, insert one of your own that you have found. They will love you for it. You go, I snuck this one in. I'd like to show it to you because I think it may be the one. And, I can't tell you how many times they go, "Oh, I didn't look at those pictures and I didn't think that's what it looked like." And you've been in these homes. You know this neighborhood. You know that there's a park right around the corner that would be perfect for them and Fido to go to every afternoon. So, just sneak one in there. And I have sold my pick more times than I can count than what they thought they wanted. Because sometimes, that people use wide angle lenses, or they, shoot it from way up on the ceiling or whatever. And you get into the bathroom and it's, 5 by 5 and it looks like it's 20 by 20. So just, surprise them a little with that and show them, all the different properties. Be sure, especially first time out, don't show them too many. It gets confusing. That way you can kind of set the pace and you can kind of get to know them. It's hard to go after work because they're frazzled and they've got their phones ringing and families checking in. And all of this is going on. So, if you can get them on a Saturday or Sunday when they've had their coffee and are ready to go and search for a new home, that would be great, depending on the market. Now, if it's a hot market, the minute they get off work and you need them to meet you at the front door, you do that. But, just kind of judge your client by, because some people that look at homes are... they have to open every drawer, every door. They'll say, "I hate this house," but they'll still want to open every drawer, every door, everything, and measure and sit on the sofa, whatever. And some people open the front door and go, "Nope, not for me." But, if you've made an appointment to show a home, you go look at the home. Whether they go with you or not, you may be using it for another client. So, people have taken the time to get their house ready. You go in. Now, especially with these first-time people, be sure and open the door for them. You go ahead of them. You go in and turn on the lights as you go if they're not on. Especially if it's a view out the back, head straight to the back, open up storm windows, turn on lights, open up doors, get it all bright and beautiful for them to get that ta-da when they walk in the door. The reason I say this about going first also is we're showing a house that was supposed to be vacant. And I walked in and there was a bunch of trash, like beer bottles and bongs and all kinds of stuff in there. I'm thinking, holy moly, I don't think I need to be here. And I opened the first door I came to, and it was a full moon rising in the bed. I'm like, oh my. And we quickly backed out of that house. Well, I called the agent and come to find out it was vacant, but they didn't know that their son was coming home from college with a bunch of his buddies and they were having a party. So be sure and check the house. Feel safe. I leave the front door open. I go and I open the back door. Don't ever be pinned in a room just in case somebody's in there that you can get out. Got pepper spray just in case. I don't carry, but some people do. But just be safe with it. But go in first, especially it's more of a first impression thing. If you walk in and it looks like a dungeon, it instantly sets the mood way down. So don't do that. So make it bright and light. And if the listing agent can go ahead of you and have all the lights on, especially if it's a higher price point and there's a beach or the Gulf or whatever, that's kind of nice. Or have some soft music playing. That's really nice. But make sure that when you're about to show these properties that you've checked with the agent. Ask them if anything that you need to know. Ask them where the key is, and if they go, oh yeah, it's on the closet, right down near the lobby. You're like, okay. So if I'm standing in the lobby, where do I go to find this key? Because we had one complex, we had to go all the way to the back of the lobby, take a hard right and a hard right again, and there was a little closet. When you walked in, all the lock boxes were hanging there. Well, I never would have found that on my own. And so, be specific. It's okay to ask. Okay, so where am I, if I'm standing at the front door, where am I looking for this lock box? And if they say, oh, it's just to the left, there's a whole lot of left. So, be specific. They don't mind. They should have put the instructions in the MLS, and we talked about that before, is being very specific as to where the lock box is. So, it's okay to ask questions because you don't want to look stupid with your customer standing out there, or it's pouring down rain and you're trying to juggle an umbrella and a lockbox, and it's just too much. So be very precise as to where you're going. And as you're leaving, make sure if these homes don't fit their needs, do kind of a mind dump. Look at each one of the listings. Kind of put on your notes, this didn't work because of X. This did work because of Y. This needs more of whatever. I don't throw away any of my sheets from my showings with that buyer until they buy, because inevitably a month down the road, you remember that house that had those red sofas and it kind of looked out on the really pretty yard, and the kitchen was, I think it was white. You're like, oh my. So if you've made notes, then you know which house that is. If it's a definite no, I tear the top of the sheet knowing they said no to this one, but I don't throw it away just in case they come back to me. We said no on that one, but now looking at it again, we kind of like it. So know your properties, know your area, and good luck. You've got your first buyer. Thank you for watching. If you're looking to be a better agent or you're a new agent getting into the business, you might want to look at a couple of these new videos that we have that will help you on that process. I want to thank you for watching. If you liked what we're saying, please like and subscribe. Look forward to talking to you again.